Hey guys, April 16th, 2025, 7:39 a.m. and I am leaving my house for work. Sorry you were looking at the seats for a moment. Hello. I had to take a break. I thought it would be better for me to take a very extended break and try to get my mental health back after what happened to me and my baby. Little name reveal. I did name him. I named him Darwin Archer. Darwin means dear friend, and Archer is Sagittarius sign, which he would have been. And I was calling him he since I started talking about him, just like with the first transfer. So I think he was a boy, or I feel he was a boy. So little name reveal. So what has been going on? A whole lot of nothing. I've been trying to get out more. Because the deputy that I hang out with, the retired deputy that I've been hanging out with, that I worked with, since he had the stroke, like the really bad stroke, like he has no idea. Like, he understands a little bit, but not the entirety. And he didn't understand why I couldn't hang out. So I was forced to hang out and get out of the house, which was good for me. But it was so hard to be around people. And then of all the people to come in last week, because it was DWI Victims Day, I think, last Tuesday, I want to say. I don't know how many of these things we've had, but the governor showed up. And I've contacted her office so many times asking for help, resources, guidance on, because it's her office that's going to be calling, not her. And they've never been able to help me, ever, once. And I bugged out. And if she had come through my door, even though I'm a civilian, it wouldn't have been me getting in trouble for saying something. It would have been me getting in trouble for not saying something. Because how do you address a person who you've asked for help, who runs your state, who was voted in by the people, legally, election and everything, and then be blown off? And then I've been reaching out to attorneys because since no one's going to help me get justice in a legal way that does not involve a courtroom and attorneys, I reached out to those if you don't pay unless you win type of people. And I thought I found one. I thought I found a decent one. He was in New York City. He's, fertility attorney, stuff like that. And I wrote a comment or a review, and I wrote the same review under numerous attorneys. It was not just him. Like, why is everyone so afraid of taking on CNY fertility? Why? What is so important about CNY fertility that people are afraid to take them on? And he actually reached out to me, the senior partner of the firm. So I'm probably saying because he is in New York City, between $2,000 and $4,000 an hour attorney, because they take cases that they expect and will win. That's why they can have that whole spiel. He called me back and we talked, and I told him, he was very nice man. And he said, I should have probably called you back to explain it, because no one has explained why they will not take my case. He sat on the phone with me for a half hour, offered to write them a letter on my behalf, help me draft a letter with me, free of charge. He told me that it would be over, just a round figure on my end. He said between 40 and 60. With filing fees and counter fees and everything else, probably $100,000 in 4 years. And he would have to prove that my baby would have survived if they had gotten the test right. And he was like, New York State is complicated because, it goes a little bit about the mother's emotional distress, but that's not the whole picture. And he was like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your money. He was like, it is a long and emotional process. My thing is, and I told him this, I was like, I've seen the paperwork for lawsuits. There is no place to write, I want them to say sorry and that they will do better. And because he was so nice, I told him, I was like, if you ever want to look at my medical files, if you ever have to deal with CNY, because he's never had to deal with them, I was like, I will be more than happy to sign a HIPAA release, so you can compare cases if you ever need to. I want to help him as much as he was able to help me. And because he was able to sit down and talk to me, like, I actually went back, deleted my review, and I said, thank you so much, Jeff. And I will love my baby forever. I will. I will love him until the day that I die. I will hold him in my heart. And I will carry him with me. All three of them, I will carry them with me. But if I'm going to be a productive person and get my life back, I need to get my crap together. I need to say, this happened to me, but I'm not going to let it define me. And I don't. And Darwin will always be the one that made me a mom. But so much has happened since 2020 alone. And I have been in a depressive state for 5 years, and it's time to start trying to be okay and wanting to be okay. And I want to be okay. There are days I really, really want to be, but then it's like all this stuff happened to me. How can I be okay? How can I be okay? When I've lost so many people close to me, when my therapist took advantage of me and then abandoned me, when, I tried to become a foster mom, and because of an incident and another, with a kid involving another foster family, they look at me and they're like, no, she's crazy, she can't be a foster mom, and they pull my certification and tell me to come back when I'm with more established therapists. And, I went off of, I found out I was being over-medicated. I went off of lithium, because that was like the big drug for trying to get pregnant, I went off Lamictal because that could cause a cleft palate. I'm doing all these things, but I'm not taking care of me. I'm taking care of everyone else, but I keep feeling like if I'm okay, then I'm forgetting everything that happened. And that's not the truth. Being okay means that I'm not letting myself be a victim to what happened. And I don't want to be that anymore. I don't want to wallow anymore. And I think that's good, that I'm coming to that conclusion, I mean, the past 10 years of my life has been taking care of my mom, has been taking care of, everything and everyone, and being abandoned by friends because of situations in my life that I decided to take care of. And it's not fair. And does that mean I have shitty friends? Yes, that means I have shitty friends. And I already knew that. When I see somebody every single day, and we hang out every single day for 15 years, we hang out once. Alright, cool. When the same person, okay, she had breast cancer, I told her, listen, I will give up my vacation time, whatever time I have, if you want me to come and sit with you during chemo. She is an attorney. Her mom is a doctor. Her father's an attorney. they paid for her surrogate. She wrote me a letter. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. I can't wait for Alice to meet you. She's going to love you. This person lives from my house, and she moved. She was also able to buy a house. I think, like, her dad paid for one thing, her mom paid for another. Whatever. Good for you. If you have it like that. So from my house to walk to the main route, like a main road, I'll say 15 minutes if I am meandering, looking at Facebook, all that crap. And that's if I'm like stopping to look for my cigarettes and everything else, to search things, whatever. She lives across the street from that, because that's where Stewart's and like the bus stop is. From the bus stop, you walk across the street, that's your street. Yeah. So, she wasn't a very good friend anyway. She needed antidepressants. And she needed mental health also. But, armchair therapist here, it's easy to sit back and be like, wow, you're really effed up. But she is really effed up. Talking crap about me after the situation with my cousin's baby. And she's a law guardian too. That's what sucks even more. So I'm going to say goodbye on that note. It was a very long catch-up video. Sorry. I love you guys. I hope you all are well. Remember to always be the amazing person you are. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not amazing, because you're frigging amazing and you're awesome. And I love you guys. And have a good day, have a good week, have a good life, have an amazing day. Love you.